Hey everybody, this is a Cinema 4D tutorial based on a student question about how does one take a drawing and turn it into a 3D print. So what I have here is this is a 3D model that was generated from a drawing made by one of my students, Liz Stevenson. And I'm just going to walk you through the steps as to how this came about. So basically, when you're using Cinema 4D, we need to install a plugin called CV Art Smart. So what you're going to want to do first is go to the Cineversity website, Cineversity, and look for the CV Art Smart download, right? You want to download that and load it into Cinema. So the way that you do that is once you have it downloaded, you're going to find a folder, okay? The folder CV Art Smart. You're going to go to your Finder, locate the Maxon folder, navigate to the latest version of what you're working with. I've got Cinema 4D R20. Some of you may have 21, which is cool. What you're going to do is navigate down to plugins. Now, if you don't have a plugins folder, just simply go and create a new folder, label it plugins, and you're going to pop that CV Art Smart folder right into plugins. All right. Now, before this will work, you'll have to close Cinema and restart it. So, next step, we're not going to go into Cinema yet. We're going to go into Illustrator actually, because CV Art Smart works with Adobe Illustrator to generate a trace object first, and then we can go right into Cinema from there. So when I'm in Illustrator, what I'll do is create a new file. All right, I'm just going to do this letter size, hit create, vector, so we don't really have to worry about size too much. And I'm just going to import Liz's drawing. So I'm going to go to place. Okay, thumbnail artwork, it's a PNG. I'm going to pop it in here. It's really big, that's okay. Go to transform, scale, 50% seems to work pretty well. Hit OK, and I'm just going to place this right here. Okay, so now what I want to do is to trace this object and expand it. All right, so go to object, go down to image trace, and make and expand. All right, now if you don't want to do that, you can actually draw over it as well. So you can use a pen tool, you can draw your vector lines, you can create fills just any way that you would in working with Illustrator. This is the quick and easy way to do this though, right? So the drawing that Liz made was from, I believe it was on a tablet, but this could easily be an ink drawing that you do. If you're using a pencil drawing, make sure you bring it into Photoshop and make it super high contrast, black, strictly black and white. It'll vectorize a lot easier that way. Another thing that's nice about this drawing is a lot of the lines connect, right? So they overlap in different ways. It's more of a closed drawing. There are a few little areas where it doesn't, but that's okay. This will actually print pretty well. I think in some cases, if I was to critique this, I would say maybe a little bit thicker in some areas if we're thinking about making it a physical object, but overall, this is a really solid image to use. Okay, so I did make and expand. So again, just image trace, make and expand, done. So the next thing I'm going to do is do Shift Command D, and that's going to make everything transparent. What we don't want is the white, all right? So we're just going to delete that out. So I'm just going to go to the direct selection tool, click on some of the white area, hit delete. You can actually go up to select and same fill color. Yeah, there we go. Let's try it. Delete, there it's gone. All right. So this now just simply black on transparent will be perfect for what we're using. So I'm just going to file, save as. I've already done this a few times, but that's okay. We're going to do Liz test 3. Liz is going to be famous now because of this tutorial. Save. Okay, I'm done. Let's jump over to Cinema. So open a new file, go up to Cinema. What I'm going to do is the zoom thing that I'm recording with is covering up what I need. Go to Plugins, find CV Art Smart, and pop in a smart object. All right. Now what we can do is just go down to the attributes manager down here where it says art and just grab our file. So click on this. Let's do test 3. Hit open. Okay. It's going to take a little minute. And there you go. We've got the image. Now you notice what it does. It kind of separates some of the layers. So if you had multiple different colors, which is cool, if you had different colors in your file, it would separate those based on color. In this case, it's just kind of grabbing parts that are a little bit disconnected. So what we can do with this is, again, it automatically kind of like breaks them out. The path spread is what this is called. So we're just going to go down here where it says path spread and just make this 0. All right, and that lines everything up. Okay. The other thing we can do is extrude this more if we wanted. So instead of 100, if we made this 150, it would be a little bit deeper, right? So it's a thicker sort of cast. And then, to make this ready for 3D printing, all we would need to do, well, it's a few steps. So what we need to do is go up to here, ArtSmart, and just hit make editable. All right. So what that's going to do is it's going to take all those different layers, right, of those kind of like disconnected paths, and it's going to make all these extrusions based on that. So what you can do is actually just command click all of these, right? You don't need the hierarchy of that child that it's in, but just simply the extrude path. So I've got all those selected now. And if you go to mesh and conversion and then connect objects and delete. All right, this is going to make a new polygon object for you, which is exactly what you need. Take this, simply delete all that other stuff out, and I'm just going to call this drawing. Okay, and so there's my file. So I would take this now if I wanted to 3D print this. I mean, I can't print it like this. What I would do is actually rotate this. So I would go to the rotate tool, put it down on the back like that. So I'm going to do down here, I'm going to do -90. All right. And then what I like to do is actually rotate the axis. So if you click on this enable axis button, I can go back down here and rotate this to 0. There we go. Okay. And then now if we notice that the Y is going up again, so that's good. Turn that off. And then I just like to preview in the front view. And I don't know why I'm a little bit, probably don't have to do this because when you bring it into a slicer software, it'll probably put it right on the bed for you. But I always like to just check to make sure this thing is sitting right flat on the surface, like right at 0, like that. It's pretty good. Okay, that might just be me. I don't know. Anyway, this thing laying on the bed like that, that should print pretty well. And now I just go File, Export, STL, and save that in the folder. There we go. Okay, there you go. So 3D printing doesn't have to be about these really choppy, blocky 3D models that we compile together. You can totally take a sketch or a drawing that you've made, and through using Illustrator and some trace object, you can make it into a vector form that then can be extruded out into a 3D model. So I think this is a really cool way to think about extending the possibilities of the hand to digital and then back to the hand again, back to physical. All right, so that's it for 3D printing a drawing. I'll see y'all later.